Welcome to episode 12 of the Trying Something New podcast. We are so excited to be here because today is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be funny now, but wasn't so funny then. It's going to be, RV life is full of adventure and fun moments, but let's be real. There is also those moments where you say, oh my God, are we going to survive this? And how the heck did we get here? So Jimmy, what are we talking about today?
All right, today we're talking about the top 5 scariest moments that we've had on the road in the past decade of us RVing. I'm sure there's probably about 100 different scary stories that we've had.
But these stand out.
These are the ones that are logged away in the memory banks, and we're talking about them today. Ooh. So let's get into it, shall we? Just go straight for it.
Well, it's been 10 years of full-time RV life, and so we have been through it. We've had the crazy highs and a few crazy lows that we're going to get into today. And Jimmy, should we just talk about the one that is probably the most scariest?
Yeah,
should we start or should we leave that one for last?
Let's do that one now, and then the last one is going to be where you almost broke your ribs.
Oh, yes.
In the Class A.
Okay.
So we'll get around to that one. So make sure you stick around to the broken rib story in the Class A, because that's pretty fun.
It still hurts when I think about it. Oh.
That was a pretty nasty one. All right, number 1 on the scariest stories ever.
Oh, number 1. This is all Jimmy's fault.
We started off with a 1999 Class A 35-foot Winnebago. And behind that, we had a tow dolly. And on the tow dolly, we had a minivan, right? With the wheels up, because that's the only way you could tow those. And on top of the tow dolly, we had a custom trailer hitch made that held our 5 bikes.
5 bikes.
And so the trailer hitch was only 1 inch above the tow dolly disconnect, where you...
the ball joint.
Yeah, the ball joint, thing like that. So I don't know how we got off the freeway, but we were off the freeway.
I think we might have got gas or something. So we got off the freeway, and Jimmy's a little GPS challenged. Let's be real. He is GPS challenged. I have no problem. I never miss a turn when following the GPS, but Jimmy can do that quite often.
I turned off the notifications because it interrupts my podcast.
Not back then. This was 10 years ago. Okay. So Jimmy was supposed to follow GPS to get back on the highway to put us back on our way. Somehow he missed a turn. He's like, hey, help me out here. I missed a turn. And it just so happens, what state were we in?
No idea.
Okay. It was like Kansas or something. It was
idea, USA.
Little town, USA. And so he is trying to get back on, but it keeps telling us we can't turn. We need to go left to get back on the highway. Now, the only problem is that there were train tracks running parallel to where we were going.
So let me just paint the picture here a little bit. We're running down a country road that is straight for about 20 miles. 2 lanes, straight, can't go anywhere. The freeway's off to the left. Now, to get to back on the freeway, we have to cross over train tracks that are running parallel to where we're running.
As I zoom out on the GPS, I see that the train tracks are literally
forever.
The entire way. And he keeps wanting to turn left, and there's a sign, if you have a hitch, what is it?
If you're towing.
Do not turn. And we didn't exactly know why. It just kept saying that. And so, I don't know, maybe 5 turns down, Jimmy's like, I'm doing it. And I go, I don't think so, babe, because the sign is there for a reason. Well, lo and behold, we go 2 blocks down and we see exactly why. Can you guys guess why they would say this?
Why?
It's because the road went up for the train tracks. And so, now we see why. If you're towing something, you're going to get stuck, right? Obviously.
High-centered.
So what does Jimmy do? Jimmy says, let's go for it.
Let's go for it. We've committed. We can't back up.
Mind you, paint the picture. 35-foot Class A with a tow dolly, a minivan behind, and on top of that minivan, we have 5 bikes. You know, the little latch thingy to tie each bike on? Yeah, that was what we had going on.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go for it. Sandy's like, don't do it. I'm like, we're committed. We're going. There's a sign that says, do not do it. You get high-centered. So I go for it. I'm only doing like 5 miles an hour. And then all of a sudden, we're about 3/4 of the way past.
He's going up, up, up. And then what do we hear? It's the hitch thingy on the back of the RV grinding into the road because we have now gone up too far and the tail end is down.
And so in my mind, I'm like, should I gun it and go for it? If I do, I'll get us really stuck. I could probably get out of this.
I don't even think if you gunned it, it would do anything.
It might. You never know. I was thinking about it.
I don't. Because, no. And so
now we're high-centered.
We're in a predicament here.
We're high-centered on railroad tracks. And as we look down to the left,
which is where the train would be coming from,
it's a blind corner about, I would say, not even a 1/4 mile, like less than that.
It literally, normally, like picture in a movie, you can see the train tracks go straight for miles and miles, and you can see that little headlight in the distance both ways. So you know that train's coming. Well, for us, there was a turn, like literally right there.
Probably a football field away.
So, I don't even think it was that far. And so if that train is coming, that headlight's going to be fast approaching right there and blow our RV into smithereens.
It would have disintegrated on contact. Now, I think the locals came out and would laugh at people that did this because all of a sudden we had a crowd around us. And
so to make it even worse, we were driving cross country and our AC went out. And the kids were way younger. Ryder was like 3. So the kids were super young. I was in like a little pair of shorts and a sports bra because it was like 90 degrees in the RV. I was icing the kids down because it was so hot in there. Now I get out with my mohawk, with my little sports bra.
Daisy Dukes and a sports bra.
And it was like workout shorts. And these people are going like this.
White.
As they're walking by. And
trash.
I go, yep.
That's us.
Do that look to me. I deserve it. Actually, he deserves it because I told him not to do this.
We should have done that video like, how'd you get here? What's that one? I bet you're wondering how we got
in the situation.
We ended up here. Yep.
So it was a panic. But while we're doing that, Sky's like, what, 5 years old at this time? Sky was filming the situation on her iPad, which is hysterical.
We had no idea.
We had no idea. We're panicking, trying to get the kids out, trying to get the car unloaded.
So yeah, Sky's filming. We watch it later. We'll get that in a sec. But so automatically you go into like crisis mode. Like, how are we going to get out of this?
You can't back up. So the first thing is you cannot back up when you're towing, when you're flat, the tow dolly towing, because the back tires are locked.
Well, everything goes you got 3 access points. So things go 3 different ways, which doesn't work. So I get everybody out, put them all about, 100 yards away. Because like if the train hits, this thing's going to explode into 1,000 pieces.
Far away.
Yeah, 60 feet away. And so then I'm like, all right, I'm going to take out the minivan. I got to take off the ratchet straps off the tires. It's like a 10-minute process to get the minivan off. So I get the minivan off. I still can't back up because you can't back up with a tow dolly. So I had to take off the tow dolly. But to take off the tow dolly, I had to take off the bike rack.
5 bikes.
So I got to take off the 5 bikes, then take off the bike rack, and then take off the tow dolly.
So at any point, a train could have been coming.
And it's like, it's so hot out.
It's like one of those movies where you're trying to clip the bomb and you got the timer going down and down, like a 2-minute timer. And you're like, which one do I clip?
Is it the red wire or the blue
Everybody's
wire?
going to blow up. Like, it felt like one of those moments, like real life. Oh.
So we get all the bikes off. We get everything off. I had to wheel the tow dolly by hand, which weighs about 400 pounds, right, out of the way. And then I was free and clear to back up. And luckily, the RV came off the train tracks and backed up.
I think that, to me, just knowing the RV was off the train tracks was like, okay, I can relax now.
So then we, turned it around, made a U-turn.
And we had to reassemble.
Yeah. So now we got to put on the tow dolly, put on the bike rack, strap down the 5 bikes.
All in like 100-degree heat.
Put back on the minivan on the tow dolly.
While being massively judged by the locals in the area.
Oh, my goodness. And then we drove away with our tails between our legs. But at this point, we got back out to the road that we were on, and we didn't have to continue down the way we're going.
We could just turn now.
We could just go back around.
And get to the highway.
That's what we did. And yep, we're still talking about that one.
It was terrifying.
8 years later. I'm still feeling anxiety inside as we're talking about it.
Yeah. So Sky showed me a video, and I remember back then, I go, this kid... I don't even think we were really documenting our adventures back then.
A little bit, not
just
really.
Just a tiny bit.
No.
And she showed me the video, and Ryder goes like this. Sky goes, "What's going on, Ryder?" He's 3.
They're in the bed they're in the bed inside the RV.
They were in the bed. They were looking out the back window before we realized how bad this was, and we all had to get out. She goes, "Ryder, what's going on?" And Ryder goes, "The train come, and we all gonna die." Like in his little voice, the train's gonna come and we're all gonna die. I'm like, oh my God.
Looking back on it now, hysterical. At the moment,
back, we all made
terrifying.
But it was.
So we're gonna call that one the train experience.
So pay attention to those signs. They're there for a reason.
Yeah, don't
Trust
push it. Don't try it. Now I know, and I won't do it again. I might do it one more time, but I probably won't do it again.
Not with us in the car, you won't.
All right, scary story number 2. We are cruising from the West Coast to the East Coast. We used to have a film company. We're going to New York to film a wedding, leaving from Vegas. So we said, let's take the scenic route. We went up through Colorado. As you're coming down out of Colorado, you go into Kansas, I think. Sounds right.
geographic. I'm not sure.
So we'd been driving for like 10 hours at this point, and we said, let's just pull over and stay the night somewhere. And so there was like a trucker pull out / side of the road / cornfield, crazy spot, right?
So we
like,
thought, easy. We're off the highway. We'll just spend the night here.
It was like a side road.
Kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And that night, it was a beautiful like thunderstorm out over the plains of Kansas with the corn swaying in the foreground, the skies lighting up in the background. It was epic, right? And so we're sitting out watching the thunderstorm, and I went around the other side to check on everything.
Well, didn't we see them before?
Oh, I think we've seen them before.
As soon as we got out, they were like right there at the doorstep.
Yeah, it was dusk. And so what was right at the doorstep?
It was a lot of bones.
Bones?
There were jaw bones with teeth in them. There were ribs, vertebrae.
Were they human bones?
I don't know. The jaw bones were not human.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
They were.
I think
I don't know what it was.
A slaughterhouse might have been nearby, and like they dumped all the bones
there
right there.
There was a good amount of bones out there. The kids were like, "Oh my god!" The kids kind of thought it was cool, thought a little bit creepy.
We thought it was kind of cool, but then I'm like, we're looking on the map, and there's nowhere to go for the next like 200 miles.
And it was already getting. It was going to be dark really soon, so we're like,
let's just go for it.
Oh, whatever. You know, this is just Mother Nature, right? Like animals eat each other and they decompose, and you got some bones.
I think that's what it was. Then I went out later on to like see the thunderstorm to get a chair out of the car or something, and then I saw like a massive pile of bones behind the RV. And I was like, come back inside. I'm like, Sandy, there's like a lot of bones out here. I don't know.
Well, then this is the funny part. We're already, our senses are definitely heightened at this point because we're like, well, we're screwed. We're staying here for the night. Then the sky, like it was like the downpour came, lightning everywhere. And mind you, there was nothing that we could see that was around. But then, so we couldn't sleep that night. And then we noticed in the distance, there looked like there was one house on a hill on the other side of the highway with a light on.
Like a mile away.
And we're like, where did that house come from? Like, we didn't see that earlier. We thought we were here alone. So then all night, we just kept thinking we were going to hear like a bang on the door, coming to get us, to take our bone. I don't know. Yeah. It was, we could not sleep a wink. I think I laid on that bed looking out the window like a tweaker or something the whole time. Like, make sure nobody's coming.
I think we slept in shifts that night because I'm like...
that was horrible.
At 4 a.m., I think we finally fell asleep. And then at 6 a.m., we're like, let's get the heck out of here. It
was scary. And it was one of those, like, movie kind of creepy, scary. Like, what the heck?
I bet if somebody's watching it as a movie, they would be like, just leave.
Yeah.
Get
Why
out of
are
there.
you staying there?
And we're like, we'll just stay. And there's like a killer in the woods, like right behind us.
Because there was like woodsy area right next to us. And so, that was I don't like that kind of stuff. I grew up in New York City, in Queens. And let me tell you, when I saw woods, all I thought was Jason and Freddy and all those characters, those movies. And I do not go, I'm not a woods kind of girl. I do not go into the woods. I don't want to hike in the woods. I'm
kind of seeing a theme here that all of our scariest stories are on like travel days, right? Which kind of seems interesting here. Okay. So let's get to the third scary story out of 5.
Oh, we do have another scary story that was in an RV park.
Okay.
That might be a bonus one.
Ooh, bonus one.
You forgot about that one.
There was a murder, right?
It was a double murder.
All right, so stay tuned for that one because it's going to be
in the RV park.
Creepy. Yeah, that's a good one. So we do have one.
That's the bonus one.
All right, the third scariest thing. So we're driving across country again. We pull over for the night.
It is travel days.
Yeah, a lot of times we stay in Walmart parking lots because it's just easy to pull into. We drive late into the night, so we pull in at like 10 o'clock at night, and then we leave early. We leave at like 7 in the morning before they even know we were there. Get in and out, boom, boom, boom. So we're in this parking lot.
This was another one that was really a long time ago, a lot of years ago.
And so there's a couple semis over there, 2 RVs over there, and then we're sitting there, and then this tour bus pulls in next to us.
We didn't know at the time.
Yeah, so everybody kind of stays close to each other because like safety in numbers or something.
Yeah, and we have all the blinds down, so we don't know what's going on outside. We just started hearing this yelling.
What were they saying, Sandy?
Who's in there? Who's that?
Come out.
Come out.
Show us who you are.
And we're going, huh? Like, what the heck? Like,
so
what is going on out there?
Your adrenaline goes to level 10.
And you're like, oh my God.
They're coming for us.
Like, what is going on out there, And so we look and we notice it was like a couple of drunk guys that they were circling the other RV, which was like a Rockstar tour bus kind of.
It was
there was no
Prevost.
names outside on the side of it, but the level. It was like a crazy tour bus,
$1 million tour, Prevost tour bus,
and so these guys assumed there's got to be some famous people in there, and they were not going to stop until they came out. And they have their beers in their paper bag rolled down, walking like their 40s or whatever, walking around, come on, come out. And I'm thinking, I don't know what the people inside that bus were doing, but that was alarming because, they're drunk and they're just acting stupid and belligerent.
That bus didn't move for, while those guys are out there, and we just kind of like barely poked open one blind so we could see what was going on, but that was kind of creepy.
That was scary because, you almost feel like a sitting duck sometimes where it's like anybody could come up and say whatever, do whatever, and that's annoying.
All right, let's take a quick little break and do a couple of this or that's for a little reset here. So what we like to do in some of our podcasts is ask, do you like this or that? Do you love this? Do you hate that? So we'll do...
I feel like it's a great way to get to know people.
Yeah,
I love watching that with other people.
We'll do a little RV this or that. And the place we got this from is we used to listen to Nervo all the time, and they would do...
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of their sets, they would ask a DJ, do you like champagne or beer? Do you like...
Yeah, you really get an insight into the person.
Do you like coffee or tea? All that stuff. So, Sandy, I'm going to take a drink of water, but you read the first one.
All right, Jimmy, boondocking in the middle of nowhere or packed RV resorts with noisy neighbors.
Ooh, that's a hard one. We're talking about all of our boondocking experiences. I think if we're boondocking for a couple days, cool. Any more than that, and we kind of start to grind down. A packed RV resort with noisy neighbors. That's a tough one. I'm gonna do.
I know it's a tough one.
I'm gonna do boondocking on that one. If it's a couple dayer.
I would too.
All right, Sandy, driving through the mountains or driving through the desert. Let's not talk about scenery. Let's just talk about
I'm gonna
easeability.
Say desert because it's flat, and we just went through some issues driving through the mountains with the truck.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say desert, nice and flat. I don't like those crazy 8,000-foot mountains.
Yeah, I don't like that either. And just climbing and put so much wear and tear on the truck, and then the brakes coming down.
Not good.
Okay.
All right, Jimmy. Ooh. Overnight at a Walmart parking lot or overnight at a truck stop.
All right. I'm gonna have to choose Walmart on this one because the truck stops are made for trucks, and those guys run their giant diesel engines all night long. And I'm always worried that the exhaust is gonna come in the RV and kill us all while we're sleeping. And, I don't know. I just like to give those guys their space. They're on a different wavelength than we are. We're out here having fun. They're working, so it's a different vibe.
They have to stop. Yeah. So respect the truck stops as much as possible. And now, if a truck stop has the RV parking, then that's different.
We like rest stops, but we hardly ever do truck stops.
All right.
Number 4. Sandy, would you like a small, cozy RV with less space or a giant RV that's harder to park and drive?
Giant RV.
Giant RV for sure. We have some friends.
We had the cozy less space, and the bigger RV with more space is definitely good for our family.
Yep. We just met some people at the Hershey RV show, and they were like, "We're thinking about 40 foot because we're scared to get 45." I'm like, "There's no difference. Just get the biggest one that you can."
And we haven't had any issues parking our RV. I mean, you have to know that if you're over 30 feet, you're not going to get into a lot of those state parks or those smaller places, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, you got to plan way ahead to get into those.
Yeah, and we're not planners, so we miss them anyways.
All right, there's 5 more on here, but let's get back to segment number 4. All right, we're going to keep the Walmart theme going here. Okay, so
another Walmart one.
Yeah, we were in Arizona, again, driving cross country, and we decided to stop in Walmart parking lot for the night, and it was a Saturday night. We kind of always find like a back corner to hide out in just to kind of be like low profile and all that stuff, and we wake up at like, I don't know, midnight, 1 in the morning, and there's like, it sounded like Fast and Furious outside, and bottles are breaking, people are doing donuts, everybody's screaming and hooping and hollering. Well, we didn't realize
Walmart was like the spot.
Yeah, we didn't realize that in a small town that Walmart was like the hangout for all the car people and all the rambunctious young kids that were wilding out on a Saturday night.
Looking for a place to go. Yeah.
And so it lasted about 2 hours, and I mean, nothing happened to us, but at the same time, you're just like, damn, these fools are like going crazy out here. And any minute, like somebody could, I don't know.
Yeah, like what's that RV?
Yeah.
Who's over there?
So, and we have our names all over the RV, and they just got to type in social media and all that stuff. So, yeah, that was a little moment. Not necessarily the scariest thing, but kind of like, this doesn't feel very good.
Yeah.
So, Walmart, number 2 for the win.
Oh, now this one. Oh, my gosh.
This was going to be the last story, but we're going to add one more story.
This one hurts even when I think about it because it was just caught me off guard. The kids were really young. This is in the beginning of our journey in the Class A. And you're walking around. You're in the motorhome as you're driving, right? So the kids want their drink. They want this. I'm walking around, and sometimes the roads are bumpy, and you're in construction zones and whatnot. And so I remember exactly. I think it was Ryder was on the couch, and he wanted his sippy cup, and the sippy cup was in the console in the front. And so I'm like, oh, sure, I got it. As I'm walking to go get it, I'm leaning forward, and what happened, Jimmy?
Well, we're on a very tight construction 2-lane.
It was a
freeway.
highway. They closed it down to 1 lane, I think.
There's barricades on both sides, so it's like super tight, and you got like 6 inches before you're gonna grind the side of your RV on there. And on the right-hand side, I was in the left lane because it was merging, and the right lane was coming to I don't know.
Well, I think the cones, like whoever was on the right, had to merge.
Yeah. And so, I don't know, this guy didn't see me. I didn't see him. I don't know
Or he probably waited till the last minute and then it was like, shoot. So he scooted over.
He comes over and he's going to broadside us on the side. And so I saw it and I'm like, holy crap, this guy's going to take us out right now and smash us into the wall. So I had to hit the brakes so that I could slow down and he'd go forward. Well, Sandy's walking toward the front as I hit the brakes.
And I did not know that he was about to hit the brakes, so I had no idea.
So we go from like 60 to 40 in like 20 feet.
So what do you think happened? We had a big wooden console in the front, which was where I was heading. And when he did that, I was pretty close to it. And so when he did it, I flew forward and my ribs hit the top of the console and just completely knocked the breath out of me. I literally thought I broke a few ribs.
Were you trying to do Superman?
No. It's a good thing I didn't go through the windshield. I mean, there's so many things could have happened. And Jimmy saw that I went flying. He's like, between having to stop short because the guy just cut him off, and then me flying just bad timing into the console, and now I'm just look like I died. He's just like, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm going, when you get hit, you just can't even talk. I could not talk. I couldn't breathe. I literally thought my ribs were broken. I couldn't breathe. It was that hard. And so I crawled back to the couch, and the kids are like, mommy. And I was like, I have to assess the damage here. Like in my head, I'm like, I have to see what just happened to me because I was in so much pain. And so luckily, nothing bad happened. It was like bruised, but nothing horrible, no broken bones. But man, that's something with like the Class A's or, the drivables is you have to be aware because you're walking and moving around, and at any point you can go flying. And I had the reawakening
is weird. It's almost
of that.
like when you're in an airplane and you're like, we're doing 600 miles an hour right now. And I'm like walking around going to the bathroom. The same thing's like when you're in one of those RVs, you're like, we're doing 60 miles an hour now.
It's crazy.
I'm just like walking around.
I just saw on the news that a plane, they had some crazy turbulence and like, I don't know, 20 people got injured. Flight attendants had to go to the hospital. They were in the middle of doing the beverage service and they hit some crazy turbulence instantly. And everybody went flying. So it was like, it said, until the seatbelt sign comes off, just leave it on. Leave your seatbelt on.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Because I think they obviously were caught off guard with that turbulence. And I was like, ugh.
All right, so we got one last crazy fun story. Not fun. It's kind of tragic, actually. I don't know why I just said that.
Which one was it again? I totally forgot.
Cut that out. Where the unaliving happened. All right, but before
yes.
Before we get to that, let's finish our this or that's. We'll do another disrupt in here, make you wait for it. Okay. All right, Sandy, cooking inside the RV or grilling outside in the elements?
I think cooking. I'm vegetarian,
Yeah, you
so
don't do any
I would say
inside.
for you would probably say outside, right?
Yeah, I like grilling steaks every night and stuff like that. So I'm going to say outside for sure. All right, a week of nonstop rain or a week of 100-degree blazing hot heat?
100-degree blazing heat. I don't care. I don't want the rain.
We just spent July and August, and it was 115 a couple days. And we managed,
in Vegas.
We up until about 10 or 11 it was fine, and then 11 to 7 is miserable, and then 7 to midnight is wonderful.
115 was hot. Yeah,
it was hot for
and
sure.
our back AC went out, so that didn't help the situation.
All right, Sandy, next one. Dealing with laundry on the road or dealing with dishes every day? What would you rather deal with, laundry every day or dishes every day?
The laundry could wait. The laundry could wait, but we use paper plates, so I'd rather do. Yeah.
All right, this or that, getting stuck in traffic or breaking down on the side of the road?
Stuck in traffic. I do not want to break down.
Yes.
If you're breaking down, that means there's something wrong. And I would rather nothing be wrong. I'll just do my traffic.
All right. Oh, this is a good one. This is a really good
RV
one.
neighbors who are too friendly or RV neighbors who never say hi.
That's a good one. I'm going to have to say I would rather have RV neighbors who never say hi than RV neighbors that are too friendly.
We've actually had some RV neighbors that were too friendly, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, that's a little too much after a while.
I'm like, I love being friendly and I love, connecting, but sometimes if it's too much, then I'm like, all right, what's going on?
All right, this is a good one for you. I know how much you hate the cold. Freezing nights boondocking with no hookups. All right, so you're freezing inside, blankies, sweatshirts, all that stuff, or sweltering hot with no AC, which we've done both of them. So that's a tough one.
Oof.
Sweltering hot nights with no AC.
Or freezing cold boondocking. I think I might say the freezing cold boondocking if it's for a night, because we've done the sweltering hot and you just cannot get comfortable when you're that
miserable.
hot. Especially for the kids. Like, we could power through something, but I think for the kids, they're just miserable.
If it's cold and you're boondocking, just a couple
pile on
sweatshirts,
the
blankets. Now go like, remember how cold it used to get in the Class A?
Oh yeah.
We had to put blankets on the steps because there was like
any entry point for a little bit of air. It was like, cover it.
The batteries were underneath the steps, so it was like a direct portal to the outside.
It was a poor construction on that setup.
And so and when it was like 30 at night, 20 sometimes,
you could feel the breeze coming in, and I'm like, we need to block that.
Yeah, so we would put a blanket over the steps. It worked too.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. So yeah, I definitely rather have the cold nights.
It did help a lot.
Yeah, definitely have the cold nights.
Although I do not like cold, but compared to no AC on a hot sweltering night, yeah.
All right, the bonus story number 6. I don't even know if you're allowed to say this stuff on YouTube anymore or podcast.
Well,
the murder
we'll just keep it
on
the
RV park
light. Okay. So I mean, and however way you can for this kind of a thing. So we got to Florida. We went to stay by Jimmy's mom's house in Bradenton area. And so we found an RV park. We won't say which one. We found an RV park. It was one of those ones that was older. And so this was the Austin Powers one you were talking about in the other podcast.
Yeah.
It was just made for smaller RVs all around the board. The turns, everything, the spots. And so they told us to go into one spot. And so we drive around, we get to the area, and I'm like, I don't think we're going to be able to get in here. But, Jimmy's always let's give it that good old-fashioned try.
I got to give it a try. So I got the back end in, but then somebody had a boat right in front of us.
There was a boat trailer,
so
and I go, there's no way we're going to hit it.
15 minutes of me moving an inch back, inch forward, inch back, inch forward. And I'm like, I can't get in here.
So finally I go, I'm just going to tell them we can't fit here. So then they gave us a different spot. We make it into the other spot. We're like, all right. It was actually... There's two different sides of the street of this RV park. So we went to the other side. And so we were good. We went there. But then as we're unpacking, people are like, lock up your e-bikes because things get stolen. Or lock up your
propane tanks inside your RV.
Where the heck are we? Yeah. Like, what the heck? I mean, the RV park didn't seem bad and people seem very nice.
It's a reputable name RV park too.
Yeah. And so we just go about our day, whatever. The next morning, I had to do laundry, which was on the other side of the RV park, which is where we were supposed to be parked. Well, guess what I see? I see yellow police tape everywhere around the entire area. And I'm like, what the heck happened here this morning that there is police tape everywhere? And so, of course, nosy me, I'm like driving around. I'm like, trying to find
he's like, I got to figure out what's going on.
Because the laundromat area was shut off, was like blocked off. And so I drive around and I see one of the people and I go, hey, what happened over here? Well, what they tell me, it just happened like an hour before, is like, we were literally going to be parked right across the street from where this thing happened. And what it was there was a guy who unalived his mom and her boyfriend in the house right there.
In the RV.
It was in the mobile home. It was like one of those where it's like mobile homes and RVs. And
well, he lived in the shed. Sandy found out the whole story. So
let's paint the picture of what was going on there. He's done this before. So he did something horrible to the mom and so they're gone. And I'm thinking...
Well, let's paint the picture here for a sec. Like, he lives in the shed.
He
got in a fight with the parents.
I think he probably wanted money or whatever it was.
So he went into the RV. I think he was in his 20s or 30s. And he did what he did to the family, and people outside said they heard the rustling and the struggling and all that
And the
crazy
help.
stuff going
And
on.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
So yeah, after the incidents, I guess he ran away, and he ran by our RV.
Our RV with our back down. And the way we know this is I saw the cop, you know how they measure the
with the wheel.
the way the guy went. And so I saw him doing that down the road. That was the road in between our side of the park and the park where the side it happened. And I'm thinking, that means that guy did what he did. And now he's running out of the park down here, right past our RV, and luckily kept going. And that was pretty scary. And we literally were supposed to be parked on that street, but we couldn't fit. And that's when, like, the universe is taking care of you. Like, guys, you don't want to be there because something bad's going to happen.
Yeah. So, man, I feel like we're like on a down note after telling all that. We need to pump it up a little bit here.
All right. So then,
fun story. You got any fun stories that we could tell really quick?
So then
we need to cleanse the energy.
So, it's one of those things, right? Like, you could be living in a neighborhood and find out next door something crazy happened. And so over 10 years, though, we got 6 stories.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure we got a few more, but those are the ones that
those are the ones that
most.
Everything else is just your basic whatever,
I'll finish out with a fun story just to give some energy and some light and some positivity to this thing. We were just driving from Idaho to Elkhart. So all the way up through Wyoming and Idaho, and it's climbing for 2 days and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. Finally, we got to like 8,000 feet, and the truck is like gasping for air is what I think. And so we get a engine warning light comes on, and it goes into limp mode, which means we can operate at like 50% of the power. And that's like our biggest fear is like that we're going to break down somewhere on the road with the truck. So we're very preventative on the maintenance to make sure that doesn't happen. But going into limp mode like 2 months ago, it was kind of like,
that
this
was
sucks.
not a good feeling.
Yeah. So, but then we just kept driving and pulled over and put in ChatGPT, and it's like one of something's clogged. The exhaust system.
DPF filter or something.
And so we found a mechanic in the area, unhooked that night. As soon as we unhooked and drove to the mechanic, it reset itself, and then the sensor light was off. And so next day we hook up and we drive again, then it happens again. So we find another mechanic, go to him.
This is on a lighter note, this story?
Yeah, but just something to like bring some energy back. And then so the second time, the sensor light goes off again, and so we're like, screw it. And so we just went for it. And as we're coming down out of the mountains, I think the truck couldn't breathe, and so it started to get air back in its lungs.
So her lungs were able to grow again.
Yeah, and then after that, we've never had a problem since.
We haven't had a problem since, so...
Yeah. All right.
And we're just staying flat now. We're not doing any more mountains. So.
And the mechanic said the truck is probably used to Florida, and so it's used to 800 feet, no, 80 feet above sea level, and not 8,000 feet above sea level. So that was on a lighter note. So
that's our most craziest stories that that's happened to us. Obviously, if you see over 10 years, not very many. Which,
it's some good stuff.
Thank goodness.
Never had a blowout. Never had an engine failure. Had a couple generators go out, ACs go out, heaters go out, windshield wipers go out. Man, that would be.
It's all your normal stuff.
All right, here's a good story. Here's a good story. We'll finish on this one. This is a breath of fresh air. Okay, we're leaving Las Vegas. We're headed to Florida in the Class A. As we're leaving Las Vegas, one of my valve stems comes loose, and so we get a flat tire. But it was in a Costco parking lot, and I have a compressor, so I was able to air it back up and tighten the valve stem. So that was when we were leaving Vegas, and we get up into like Flagstaff, Arizona area, and for some reason it was winter, but there's a huge snowstorm that hits the area, and at that point our windshield wipers went out. So we're driving. Sandy was behind me driving the minivan. At this point,
I was driving the minivan behind the RV.
And so I'm driving the RV, and then I put on the defrosters, and the heater motor goes out. And so the snow was like heavy and sticking to the front windshield. And the defroster is not working to melt the snow off the front window. So I had like a little 6-inch hole on the lower left-hand side that I'm like driving, looking through this little hole. And Sandy's like, what the heck are you doing?
Well, I knew
man?
behind.
So
I had the windshield wipers going crazy. And I go, man, I hope he's okay up there. And then I call. I say, you guys all right? You guys want to pull over? And the kids are like, let's tell mommy. And I'm like, tell mommy what? And they're like, we can't see. And there was like a wall of snow on that huge windshield. And I'm thinking, are you crazy?
I could see.
Are you crazy?
And then, hold on, this gets even better. So, tire, windshield wipers, heater, defroster, all this stuff. We pull over, and we're getting something out of the refrigerator. And Sandy opens the refrigerator door, and it fell off the hinges.
The door and hit me smack in the head.
It hit her in the head.
Corner.
And, like, all the pickle jars break on the floor, and like mustard goes everywhere. We're just like This is insane. I forgot about that.
Forgot
We
about
actually
that
documented the whole thing, so we have a video of that one too, which is pretty funny.
That hurts so bad. The corner of the refrigerator door landed on my head. Yeah, that was not
that was
good.
fun. I got one more. We're driving, let's say somewhere in the Midwest. We're pulling out of a gas station, and there was like a 4-foot pothole in the ground.
Oh my God.
And I thought I was like avoiding it. And so my back tire, this is in the Class A, the back tire hits it. We dipped down about 8 inches because we went into the hole. And as we came back out, it like slingshotted us back out of the hole. And all the glass Pyrex bowls in the cabinets go, poof, hit the cabinet doors open and just shatter into 1,973,000 pieces.
No, I was driving behind again. Mind you, this is all Jimmy's actions, right? I was driving behind again. I was actually on a Zoom call, and I remember he just stopped it was a gas station parking lot, and I go, why is he not going anywhere? And when he says that's he hit the pothole, I go, all right, now I'm gonna paint this picture for you. This is a huge empty parking lot with one pothole in it, right? And so I'm looking around. He goes, I hit the pothole, and I'm looking around. I go, you have all the room in the world. Why would you hit the pothole?
I thought I could straddle and just like barely miss it with the back tire.
And so I'm like, you're such a dumb, because that doesn't make sense to me. Like, you stay far away from that pothole. It was a big one too. Like, you can step in it, and it was like down kind of far.
And we had the kids in the RV, and everybody's like,
and we just got the puppy
covered in glass and stuff. And I'm like, guys, don't move. They're like, what do we do? I'm like, I don't even know where to start at this point. And I'm like, Sandy, you got to come help me. She's on a business call, and she's like, okay.
Well, it was funny because I saw. I couldn't call you because I was on the call, and I'm just wondering, like, what's going on? Why is he not going? Like, it didn't make sense to me. I didn't even notice the pothole at that point. And then I see him with all of our rugs wound up, like, on his shoulder, and he's walking them to the dumpster. And I go, what? And, like, I was just so puzzled. I'm like, where is he going with our rugs? Like, why would he be throwing our rugs out? And then he came over, and I was like, okay, I got to get off this Zoom call. Guys, something's going on. And then that's when he says everything was covered in glass. And I'm just like,
shards of Pyrex.
Are you serious? Like, how did you hit the pothole? That's the one thing you avoid in one of these kind of parking lots, right?
Yeah.
And you had all the room in the world, but regardless. So yeah, we had to throw out all the rugs. Luckily, the kids, nobody got hurt. We had just gotten the puppy. And so, yeah.
I think we did 2 bonuses on this one, which is pretty cool.
That was another bonus,
all
yeah.
Right. So hopefully we ended on a little happier note there. So that was the kind of point of that
one. But
yeah.
So as you know, whatever you do in life, there's going to be stories. There's going to be something. So share some of your crazy stories down in the comments, because I would love, love, love to hear it. And no, we're not the only ones out here that are having crazy things going on.
Leave us a comment. Let us know. Send us something on Instagram. All the things that you do with the podcast, share it, like it, spread the good word. We really enjoy making these, have a lot of fun telling stories. We've been doing this for a decade, which sounds crazy to say. So, yeah.
And let us know what else you would like to hear, because we really want to create a conversation with you out there. And let us know if you got questions, you want us to talk more about RV life or just life or whatever, or travels. We'd love to share it with you.
All right. So whatever you guys do, get out there and
try something new.